Welcome back. And we now welcome back Robert Hendriks. He is the national spokesperson for Jehovah's Witness. It's been about a year since we've seen each other. Robert, thank you so much for being back.
Yes, Betsy, a lot has happened in this year. It feels like a decade since we last talked, but thank you for having me back.
Yeah, good to see you. And you're right, so much has happened. It does feel like a little bit longer than that. But we're going to jump in today. Last time you were here, we were still talking about the fact that you were virtual because we were still...
Now, I guess that could kind of lead into my next question. Why are mixed marriages not uncommon for Jehovah's Witnesses?
You know, as Jehovah's Witnesses, I think the Pew Research Center says we are the most diverse religion in the United States. So it just makes sense that when you live together, when you grow up together, making that leap to an interracial marriage is rather just natural because, you know, as you, the problem...
This is an injustice. Look at all this. Should bricks be thrown through our windows just because we work here, Winston? Should our people be met with violence in the street just because of the color of our skin? You're just going to let them do this to you?
I want to turn the other cheek, Maxwell.
Why? So they can slap you again. You need to stand up. This is the only way. We can make a difference.
My Lucille was horribly mistreated at work because of the color of her skin.
And then he spit in my face.
All this hatred, discrimination, it is only gonna get worse in these last days, Lucy.
What go on, Winston?
Everything Irie, Maxwell. Been a good morning.
Is it good? You decide to do something, brother?
Yes. I know exactly what I'm going to do. Let me show you how Jehovah will put an end to injustice.
And all of a sudden, all you've got is one view of the world, one color in the world, one language in the world. But when you grow up as a Jehovah's Witness, it's so typical for you to be growing up with brown, black, all sorts of colors, all sorts of languages. This was a community, and we grew up in that community. That community loved one another, and at you know, you didn't see people in color or language. You saw them for who they were inside. And so, even though in many ways Jehovah's Witnesses are very much the same when it comes to our beliefs, right? We still embrace each other's culture. We still love that about each other, and we don't want to homogenize that. And I think that's something to be celebrated, and that's a different.
A second area in which we need to protect our unity is culture. Jehovah's organization is diverse. We love to be introduced to different kinds of food, different styles of dress, and interesting customs. How wonderful. But what if we started feeling that my race, my tribe, my ethnicity, my culture is superior? Can you see how that kind of thinking would divide us? To preserve our unity, we need to focus not on how we are different from one another, but how we are the same. We are Jehovah's Witnesses first, not African, Asian, North American, South American, or European. Our people are our spiritual family.
And it says in verse 3, it says to treat others as superior to you. Treat others as superior to you. That means there's no place for ethnocentrism. Yes, we're proud of who we are. We're proud of our heritage, but we don't lift that above others. We don't elevate country or ethnicity or language. We elevate the person. And if you start looking at a person as superior to you, you're going to look for the qualities where that person is actually better than you. And when you do that, you want to serve them because that's what humility is all about. You want to learn from them. And in a marriage...
Growing up in the South, during the time of segregation, blacks and whites, we couldn't mix. And not only that, they had signs to keep you knowing where you're supposed to go. I liked some of the things that they was doing, but they trained us every day in military training, learn how to use weapons and stuff like that. And so I'm thinking like, this is not what I want to be in. This is not what I enjoy. So I started going back to God again and reading the Bible, because it's like, I'm not changing anything. Only God and his government can bring about peace. Just like how Jehovah unified everybody, I would like for everybody to be unified and come to know Jehovah, just like I know him. Jehovah answered.
I think, first of all, children need to understand, teenagers need to understand, and parents need to understand what bullying is. We have a worksheet, How to Silence a Cyberbully, and that worksheet on jw.org, you can download, and it will define what's happening to you. Is it really bullying? And here's why that's important to define it. Because criticism is not bullying. Being angry at somebody and lashing out at somebody is not necessarily bullying. And if a child can learn what that is and how to deal with that, those are lifelong skills that they take into the workplace, that they take to college, wherever they go.
Brothers, thank you for considering this matter regarding Brother Brown and the impact that his family situation is having on the congregation. I asked you, brothers, to review his qualifications as an elder after we spoke, and Brother Brown had an opportunity to explain to me some of the decisions that he's made for his family. I'm aware that you brothers have considered this matter before, but since then, another one of Brother Brown's daughters have enrolled in a school for higher education, which raises questions as to how this affects the congregation. When we make decisions, it's important that we consider the conscience of the congregation as well as the elder body.